Did you hear the chat? Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike shows all the classic indicators of intelligence, but not of sentience. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal? What a novel idea. But no, I don't really see the appeal.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need your help. Interesting.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Yvette, take a note. Godlike are inherently uncooperative. Approach with caution. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The Dream Scourge is proof that an unprecedented metaphysical disaster can take place at any time.
Oh, that's a load off my mind. Sure beats not constantly worrying about the future.
How's that good news?
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else... With enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Hurry, before they change their minds.
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us. Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge, they have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. Quite right. A broken clock is right twice a day, after all. Adra is a conduit for essence. So maybe you'll find a connection between the essence and the Dream Scourge. Like the rings of a tree. A very old Adra pillar could remember its last brush with the Dream Scourge. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. And thank you for the interesting riddle. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
I have a lot of packing ahead of me, but I've earned a short rest. Good timing. I'm about ready to get started. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? Makes sense. You won't find a better source of energy. Look at us. Barely even started, and already we're making progress. Monto's machine is working, Elia will keep an eye on her revenants, and Yvette and Remy are providing us an alibi. I needed those animancers for more than their expertise. Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running means we won't get any false signals. Whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you, they won't be a problem. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange for privacy, I gave them a test subject. I'd call that a good day's work. Animancy takes a lot of preparation. You might only have one chance to run through an experiment. Now we just need the right equipment for the job. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. An invention like no other. The phantasmal focus. Think of it as a spiritual tuning fork, or a dowsing rod. It has many functions, some more obvious than others. The problem is it's in the basement. I haven't gone down there since the accident. Since they died.
I can't blame you for avoiding a place like that.
I would get it myself, but I'm not ready to face what's down there. Terrible mistake. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.
If that's where her parents died, I'm glad we can spare her from having to go back.
Okay, walking into the basement of an animancer I just met. Right, feels great.
Something's not right here. Stay ready.
Haven from the blight. Who grows here?
I feel pretty certain that those people aren't supposed to be plants.
What a horrific fate.
Beauty reborn. A life of peace.
Gods. We can leave now, right?
Poor Giada. To think she's been living with this right under her nose.
I don't. Anyone know what happened back there?
I think those were Giada's parents, or whatever's left of them.
So they're dead?
Or something like that.
Gods. I can't believe this.
You're back. You found it. You actually found my inheritance. Did you see my mother and father? Are they still there? For the time being, that would be best. With the phantasmal focus, I can finally tap directly into the essence of the living lands. I can also use it to smack around anyone who gets in our way. The only thing we're missing now is an Adra pillar, and I know the perfect one. Naku Tedek, the old godless ruin west of Eora. There should be some equipment waiting for us. That rugged thing? It's as dry as a bone. Hardly any essence left. Even if it wasn't, I'm not exactly welcome in the workshop these days. Before we head out, let's make the most of our time in Eora. No telling how long we'll be gone. And I hate to be a problem, but I do my best work in small groups. Chalk it up to performance anxiety.
Ah, finally, some time to rest my feet.
Once we're all together, we should trade ghost stories. Best way to get acquainted. In the meantime, let's be off.
Speed up!
Arms up!
Gather protect the envoy!
Watch this!
That was a close. I'll fix this. Another soul for the wheel.
This must be near the spot that cartographer mentioned. I think I sprained my shoulder.
We usually bring our dead.
Hey! You there! Need some supplies?
This is a spiritual haven. Could we remove the animancy equipment, please?
Take it up with the governor.
There should be some equipment by the Adra pillar.
We remember these walls.
Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery. Armed and ready for mischief.
Gods! Warn somebody next time.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? You're thinking like an animancer, and that's a good place to start. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the Dream Scourge to show its ugly face. This is no time for hesitation. All right, drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Anxiety? Annoyance? Maybe a little bit of, burnt hair smell?
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Maybe we shouldn't try again with the unreliable soul-powered device.
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle. A whirlpool. We twine. We twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Hold on to that feeling. We might need it again. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. My thoughts exactly. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. Trap or no trap, I didn't come all this way just to give up. After you.
You were determined to get us all killed, aren't you?
Gods! Did you open that door?
I did not bring us here to explore, but clearly something wants to be found.
I have this feeling we're not supposed to be here.
I wonder. Did you open the door? Or did the door open for you? Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom.
Never had a chance. Bravo!
I can start that generator for you. Just say the word. Charge it up. Little power goes a long way.
No! The knife that pierces in the dark.
Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless, none for the abominations. Watch your head. Stop right above it.
Nice job, everyone.
Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
If you ask me, looks like it's from the ancient Adraku period.
We've seen godless architecture before. I've never seen godless art until now. Just imagine how much has been lost. We should keep moving. I would not go swimming if I were you. Unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it. With the help of some ice.
We've been wrong!
What in the name of Eora is that?
I do not want to meet whatever killed that thing.
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it. We're going to die down here. Aren't we? Well, I had a good run. Death into life. Interesting. The godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Let's keep moving. This one makes my neck itch.
Can you imagine life without any gods to guide your destiny? Without anyone shepherding you this way and that? Of course I can imagine it, but I'll wager you have a harder time. Looks like quite a party. Let's break it up. How did they even get down here? Clever things must have their own...
Quick as a...
Those Zarbs.
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar. We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
Heal us through the Adra. You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We are the heart in the soil, the lungs. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. Our people died. Their books were burned. No one was left to speak our name. But we remember an age of connection and wholeness. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabado. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. The rot. We feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Your words are comfort indeed. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us. Find us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
Oh, you're back. I made sure she didn't touch anything important.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Actually, I thought your soul had been blasted to 1,000 pieces. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the living lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness.
Right. The garden. Sure. Doesn't sound like something I'd want to mess with.
If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? I'm sorry? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible! How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Adra itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. You could be right, but we have no way of knowing for certain. Not yet, anyway. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it. A little divine intervention couldn't hurt. The real question is, where do I start?
Sure, why not? I've got extra rations.
Thank you. I've been working on my own for so long that I'm not accustomed to sharing the burden. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
This godlike Sokka's out of my depth. Call me when you need to clean a rabbit.
Let's return to Fior Messiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. I wouldn't count on it. Besides, what good am I to Fior Messiverno anymore? The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the living lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Wasn't much here for me to begin with.
Stop! The trees splinter, the rice turns black. The pain! The pain! They trample the farmlands, they tear down the gates.
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? I don't like the sound of that. Let's go. You take the lead.
We found a way out while you were sleeping. Looks like a shortcut to the surface.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything. Oh my god. No!
Fuitu Mayu? What happened here?
What happened? Who did this? It's all gone. The city. My home. Right. We should be a moving target, in case anyone comes for us next. We have to check on the others. At least let me find Quilichi. Any survivors would have evacuated to the farms north of town. Come. There's not a moment to waste.
I'm sure someone made it. They can't have killed everyone.
I can't believe this. What you smell is the workshop going up in flames. Our books, our chemicals, our machines. Many of those inventions were originals from the Valian republics. One of a kind, irreplaceable. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. We lost more than our work.
It's not fair, is it? Not fair.
They burn! They blind us!
I hope everyone is all right. Animancers know how to plan for an emergency. We've never seen one like this. If anything happened to Quilichi, I don't know what I'd do.
I'm sure he's fine. He seemed like a survivor.
Again and again they strike!
say?
Never had a chance. We've got company.
Well, that was fun.
There's the city. What's left of it? Who could do this to us? Who could burn us out like rats and call it a victory? Motherfuckers. I don't know how we recover. Our past is in those flames. Our history. Everything we are. They made it out. Oh, thank the gods. Thank the gods. I needed that. I needed to see them so badly. It felt like I couldn't breathe.
Breathe into a sack of some kind if that happens again. Works like a charm.
Rabbits in a burrow, hunted.
These people are looking for leadership. A sense of direction. We should find Kulichi.
Hope seems lost, but just fun.
Envoy? Oh, thank goodness. For a moment there, I thought we'd lost you in the attack. As if you don't already know. Ignacy, calm yourself. Why should I be calm? His people burned my city. The Steel Garrote are hardly his people. They offered us no negotiation, no peaceful terms. Just flames and laughter as we ran. You give these tyrants too much credit. Your Inquisitor is determined to burn out anyone who doesn't conform to Adheran ways. We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the Living Lands. That sort of thinking is precisely why my father fled the Valian Republics. What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. This attack was meant to weaken us. No doubt they will circle back to finish what they started. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it. I may have spoken in haste before. Pardon? The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch. And I wasn't strong enough to bear it. You must understand. My mother had the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as her lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giada.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
There's no other explanation for the spiritual shift in the living lands. Something that slept has awoken. I believe there is still more to learn, but a disturbance on this scale could explain the changes to our ecosystem.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
There is no reason to stay, unless you count picking through the ashes. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise.
What has gotten into you?
As long as we are animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous. We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as animancers and as fellow expatriates.
Not the place I'd send them, but... right. Best of luck.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do?
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Nakukubel.
Gods, here we go.
Which is in Shatterscarp, so we've got to get there now. Before Eora went up in flames, that Garrote monster took my research. Your kin are on their way to the garden now. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. Gods, I love that tiny woman. I would be surprised if your journey were that uncomplicated, but... stranger things have happened.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend, and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers.
The best rangers that are left, you mean? Who sundered Steel Garrote?
I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
All shipments have been paused
but traders are working to resume them as soon as possible.
I don't know what this thing is.
To that artifact, that looks right.
Let me think. I can't believe it. My city. It's all gone.
It's never easy.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe. They flower. They will never fade. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
I'd like a word. A moment of your time, if you please. From one Adiran to another. I go where the Inquisitor commands, just as you go where the Emperor commands. So, did you enjoy our little bonfire? Inquisitor Ludwig was pleased with our efficiency.
You irredeemable fucking swine!
Keep her on a tight leash. No need for this to get out of hand. One might argue they brought it on themselves.
Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwig.
Bring us her severed head and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our attack came together in haste. You should have been informed, and I regret the oversight. One way or another, Fuel Messiverno was always going to burn. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. They never had a chance.
What right do you have to cast judgment on us?
As the future caretakers of the living lands, we do only what is necessary. Fuel Messiverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the living lands down with them. Help takes many forms. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwig's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Adir if that's what it takes. And while he frets in the throne room, his puppy dog soldiers will chase their own tails. Inquisitor Ludwig sees something in you, Envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you. Either way, Emerald Stair is just the beginning. Feel free to prove us wrong. The Steel Garrote love a challenge. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
You don't have to answer that.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't.
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last. That's a matter of perspective. Ludwig is keeping her dark impulses in check. This could have been far, far messier. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerity. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances. You know, there's a depraved part of me that was hoping you'd make this interesting.
Let's make this a battle to remember.
Sorry it'll be over so quickly then.
You're mine now! Left flank! Behind it! To your left!
You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers, and now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention, why the Steel Garrote burned my fucking home to the ground. Who cares what she believes? What right have the dead to judge the living? I will not forget Fior Messiverna. Everything it was, and everything it could have been. And I will never forgive. Never.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn? I bet Heelguard's tried that tack. Zealots like her aren't swayed by reason. And Thirdborn will greet her with a sword in one hand and another sword in the other. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back, changed. Their bodies and minds twisted, corrupted. Some confused and disoriented like Belena, others violent like Adelaro.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This Dream Scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt. Right. The garden. Sure.
Everything we learned in Naku Tadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the Dream Scourge.
Searching everywhere that isn't the garden is gonna take a while. We don't have that kind of time.
Yatsley is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yatsley can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions. Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant. Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try. This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giada. Giada Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes. We cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything? In other words, nothing we didn't already know. Well, at least we tried. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Naku Tadek, but I'll take it over nothing.
I'll pass. I've heard too many ghost stories that start this way.
Right. If I wanted to waste time, that's what I carry a flute for.
Just me then? Really? No one else has a question for the god of the living lands? Fascinating.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist. Our best lead is Yatsley, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the Dream Scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. I know. We got the Dream Scourge, the Steel Garrote, and who knows what else to deal with. For all I know, it's long gone anyway.
Better to keep moving forward, Kai. What's lost is lost.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. Maybe this doesn't need to be said, but I don't blame you for what happened to Fior Messiverno. I just wanted you to know. You aren't responsible for the sins of the Steel Garrote. I'll get the bastards who did this. One way or another, I'll make them pay.
Sleep well. We've got a long road ahead.